the summer of 2019, I bought this Konica Autoreflex TC along with a couple lenses that I've already reviewed. Yet, despite my desire to try it out, it has been nothing more than a decoration for the past 2 years, for one simple reason: the light meter was broken. Eventually, I decided to have it repaired and calibrated for 1.5 volt batteries for ease of use, and loaded up a roll of Kodak Gold 200. Today I'm gonna share with you my experience with this camera and the pictures I took with it. The Konica Autoreflex TC was introduced to the market in 1976 as a smaller sister of the Konica Autoreflex T4. The body is made of metal with some plastic parts and a nice fake leather wrapping. It weighs 500 grams and it measures 136 by 90 by 45 millimeters, according to the owner's manual. The compact size of this camera makes it really easy to carry around, in a bag or sling around your neck, especially with the 40mm pancake lens. But size isn't everything, and the Konica Autoreflex TC has one major problem: the viewfinder. It is dark, and in low light it is barely impossible to read the light meter. It is not that precise either, leading to autofocus shots, especially with longer lenses. Also, the light meter indicates the aperture and not just the general exposure, and that confuses me, but it's just a matter of personal preference. I have 5 lenses for this system: the Konica Exonon 40mm 1.8, 50mm 1.7, 135mm 2.5, the Tokina 135mm 2.8, and the Sigma 35-70 2.8-4. To be honest, I forgot to use the Tokina, my bad, but I did use all the others with mixed results. The 40 and the 50 performed as usual, but the 135 did suffer from the aforementioned imprecise viewfinder, sadly. I had the eye hopes for the Sigma and it did deliver, but being a variable aperture zoom, it made metering even more confusing. So I'll be honest, I ditched it almost immediately. The roll of Kodak Gold 200 I used expired in 2015, so I set the ISO on the camera to 160 to compensate for the reduced sensitivity, and it worked fine. I really enjoy the warm tones and fine grain of this film, even if occasionally the colors turned out a bit off. It also retains a lot of detail both in terms of general sharpness and in underexposed areas. I will have to shoot more with this film stock once I've gone through the ones that I already have, but I'm curious to see more of the Kodak Gold 200. But in the meanwhile, let me show you the pictures I took. shooting with the Konica Autoreflex TC was both an enjoyable experience and a bit of a headache. On one hand, I really like the lenses, the form factor of the camera and how it looks, but on the other, I really can't stand the light meter and viewfinder. So overall, it is a draw for me. It's a good camera, but not the right camera for me. So what about you? Have you ever owned or used the Konica Autoreflex of any series? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!